Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit, and in the green, welcome back to Super Mario 64 DS, where we have been travelling through Hazy Maze Cave. We've retrieved all the characters, we've beaten Bowser twice, and we're searching for stars with the help of Wario. We've got plenty of coins. Wait, did I not pick up the...
Here we go!
So, wait. Hang on. Okay, so... Oh, thank heavens I did. Yeah, it wasn't showing the star, so I just panicked a little and thought, oh no, did I forget to get the 100 coin star? Because that would be just like me. October has continued to be that month. I had a really, really good time on the weekend, which was unsurprising because I was at the Paul McCartney concert in Melbourne, and geez, that was fantastic. Not bad for a bloke who's a bit over 80, does a 3-hour concert, and it's just great to listen to. Years have taken a bit of a toll on the voice, but, I mean, still great entertainment, and everybody's singing along anyway, so it's all good, and...
Here we go!
Yeah, then... Obviously, the universe didn't like the fact that I didn't have a crappy day on Monday, so I wound up with a stomach bug. Decidedly not helpful in the slightest, and then this morning I spent most of my time having convinced myself that everything else was going to go wrong, and I had a whole bunch of panic attacks that basically emulate everything going wrong, which is kind of unfair when you think about it. So yeah, October has been absolutely cursed. Still, I think we're going to finally get some things going alright. And we can also wind up getting the red coins, which are fairly easily acquired. I mean, really, once you get the 100 coin stars, for most of these, the hard work is kind of done. You don't have a lot of running around to do. Hazy Maze Cave is certainly big, but admittedly the maze part kind of disappears once you know where to go, and on top of that, the maze part... The maze part is sort of defeated, I pressed the wrong button, when you actually have the mini-map, which is extremely handy. Yeah, Wario's jumping doesn't seem that great compared to Mario's, but... I mean, original Mario's. But, yeah, it's mostly just getting the elevator to, and not getting pushed through the platform. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of glitches you can find with this thing. I think people have actually managed to figure out how to glitch through the level and move the elevator around, so that they can actually exploit all those to get new ways of completing stars without pressing the A button. It is honestly phenomenal. So yeah, let's get going, get those red coins. It's just a leisurely cruise along the elevators. They've modified a few things in here to actually make some of the red coins and some of the coins around a bit easier to get. They also... I don't know if they have the swoopers, the bat enemies up here anymore, because trying to get their coins would have been a pain in the backside. Alright, so there's a switch star for later on. Alright, we'll just have to keep touring around because I managed to screw that one up. You need to backflip over it because Wario's jump isn't that good. Well, let's keep going. Around for another lap. Well, that actually worked out a bit better than I thought, but man... The roller coasters at a certain mouse-themed amusement park, which belongs to a company that has bought up a number of intellectual properties over the past few decades, really has gone downhill. Alright, let's get the rest of those coins. I'm surprised I only took A quarter, 2 points of damage there. Alrighty. Yeah, I probably could wind up going on about a whole lot of mouse-related entertainment company stuff because I have opinions, but then again, I'm sure everyone does. Probably sort of more connected to Star Wars, I suppose. I kind of miss the... For all its jank, at least, there was just something I liked about Legends. I mean, I'm always going to insist I enjoyed that. I mean, Shadows of the Empire was why I got into Star Wars in the first place. My brother and I had that as our first N64 game. Mario 64 was second. And yeah, we've been fans of video games and fans of Star Wars ever since, and I think we just do tend to prefer some of the older stuff. I mean, let's face it, there were some things that were pretty ridiculous. Quality kind of varied when it came to Legends at times. But you still got some really good stuff as well. Like, I absolutely love the Rogue Squadron series, as you might have guessed by my... You might have guessed by my username who my favourite character is, tied with the Dash Render. And yeah, I'm always going to like Shadows of the Empire, and there are plenty of other great stories as well. The Thrawn trilogy is generally held as sort of like... It was call it the original episode 7, 8, and 9, and now... It's going to get a bit... depending on what you like, it's going to be a bit divisive, but there are things I've enjoyed, things I haven't enjoyed, and it's probably easier to just leave it at that so we're not starting a massive fight, but... Yeah, I suppose it's a bit of nostalgia as well. But that's kind of the weird thing. How much does nostalgia blind us? Because, I mean, there are still plenty of flaws that popped up in this game, and even though 64DS polishes a fair bit, you can't deny that some janky elements still do remain along the way. And some things, like some of the caps not being particularly useful and so on, like the Vanish cap was never particularly helpful. And the flying controls were and are terrible. Stuff like that. Well, that's one way to avoid... Okay, I'm not sure what happens there. Alright, that's gone. I don't want to be crawling. Alright, so that netted me absolutely nothing. That was a stupid thing to do. But yeah, nostalgia probably does in a way blind us to some things, but at the same time, sort of trying to point out, well, all those old games actually weren't really that good. Now, I'm pretty sure this is Amazing Emergency Exit, but I don't care. I usually wind up going here anyway. Yeah, we will clip through that, but yeah, that's the thing. You can't necessarily say that everything that's old is bad, because, okay, objectively speaking, there's going to be a lot of technology that isn't that good. Because, well, you were doing a lot of stuff with less technology, less processing power, less a heck of a lot of stuff than what we have now. Which is pretty understandable. So, I mean, as David Bowie said, it's not who does it first, it's who does it second. Because the person doing it first is the trailblazer. They've got to make some guesses. They've got to go ahead and try with the janky stuff and try and get the most out of that. So, like, it's not too bad, all things considered, but you know it can be improved on, and somebody will improve on it because they've now got a base. They've got that baseline as such, and that's baseline as in sort of base parameters as opposed to baseline sick musical riffs. But even then, if you've got a very good bass player who's doing things that people have never done before, you can have a baseline, which is just an excuse for me to make a good pun. And yeah, honestly, Mario 64 did pave a lot of ground, and even then, you can still get it wrong when you're establishing something like an entirely new school of gaming. I mean, just look at Bubsy 3D. Some games have never quite cracked what they call the polygon ceiling, which is like that ability to actually transition well to 3D. Opinion probably varies on whether Sonic has done it. It's generally agreed that Mario did it very well because it was one of the big pioneers. The Zelda games managed to pull it off really, really well because you had Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask back to back, and that's a hell of a 1-2 punch. And then followed up with Wind Waker, which is A, on this channel, and B, one of my favourite games of all time.
Here we go.
And Twilight Princess, even if they didn't quite get the vision they wanted to just right, is still a pretty solid game with some really good set pieces. And a really good soundtrack on top of that. But yeah, so overall, some series do manage to transition to 3D pretty well. It's still kind of difficult because of how much work there is to do. Like, you could argue that in some ways Pokemon hasn't got it right. For another thing, I think we'll need Mario's speed for this. Whoop. Didn't quite get it. Alright, let's go. So yeah, we need Mario's speed and better jumping. Nice triple jump. And yeah, Mario is better for fast platforming. But yeah, there's a lot to consider when you are doing something that came along first. Like, we've finished Hazy Maze Cave, by the way. Once I get to... wonder if I should spend a bit of time hunting down rabbits, because I've got 3 of Wario's, I think. Yeah, I've got the one outside, the one in Womp's Fortress, and the one down in the basement. Where else does he have rabbits? So there's not one down here. We'll have to see if he's got one outside. Another one outside, I mean. But yeah, I might spend a bit of time hunting down rabbits as I just wander around and talk for a bit. Let Wario run around and do Wario things. We've been down there. Is there a rabbit out here? No, I think one of Mario's is out here. So it doesn't look like we got any more outside. Does he have one in... I'll have to check the courtyard. No, yeah, there's just that one over the bridge, it seems. But yeah, like, as I've mentioned, GoldenEye looks incredibly janky now, and probably in some ways it was a bit janky. But there's the thing, GoldenEye was doing quite a few things first, or at least being the most notable example thereof. That's kind of what it has to defend it, because it's doing a lot of things that games hadn't done before as such, or at least hadn't done very often. So GoldenEye brought a lot to the public consciousness. It was able to show off some really good ideas. And while its control scheme was fairly janky, it was pretty good for the time. There are prototypical twin stick setups, but overall it's not quite that flash. I think one of Luigi's rabbits winds up in here. I did get everything in the Goomboss battle. I'll have to go back into King Boo next episode. Check out in the courtyard. But yeah, like, GoldenEye did a lot of things as interesting firsts. Like, even the original Zelda did a lot of interesting things first, then A Link to the Past built on those. But in turn, a lot of what A Link to the Past did a lot of what A Link to the Past did was built on by other games, so it's kind of in an interesting situation where it hasn't aged too well. And yeah, it's just interesting seeing how games age as technology develops. And I don't think, strictly speaking, it makes them bad per se. It just means that technology has moved on to a point... Ow. Technology has moved on to a point that those games' flaws are more readily apparent compared to everything else. Okay, so that's 4 of Wario's rabbits. And a bunch of boos, which are about to hurt us very much. Or no, Wario's just fast enough to get away. Worth noting, Yoshi cannot enter Big Boo's haunt because Yoshi has no way to hurt boos. So we'll have to head upstairs and see what we can find. But yeah, there's a lot that has happened with these older games, and I think you've got to judge them very fairly, because you can't just say, oh, well, actually, they're crap, and just leave it at that. You have to factor just about everything in. Like, what did these games do at the time? How fairly are we judging them if we're putting them up against modern standards? Because obviously it's not going to hold up as well. What are we judging? Are we judging them against games at the time? Are we taking into account what they did? It's the little things like that that really do wind up making a game a lot more, the opinion of a game a lot more accurate. Where's that rabbit? That worked, okay. So, well, that should nearly wrap up the rabbits for Wario. I think I've got only 2 left. I suppose it's appropriate we hunt for rabbits, I rabbit on. But yeah, like, it's fair to say that some games haven't aged well, but it's like... Imagine... Well, let's take the Aston Martin DB5. Oh, I have to get Mario. Bowser's a jerk. Well, at least he's one of Mario's rabbits. Mario spending time with rabbits. Ah, no, that's too crazy an idea. It wouldn't work. Alrighty.
Here we go!
Now, if I remember, he might have one in the Snowman's Land room? Does he? Yeah, I was right. There we go. Very nice. So that's 2 more rabbits added to Mario's tally. I'll have to check things out and work out exactly which mini games I've got, but we're not too far off getting all of Wario's. I have to open that door, and then we'll be back with Wario. Unless there is a rabbit. Unless there is a rabbit of Mario's up here. Okay, so I still can't... Thought I could have grabbed that, but okay. Is the angle not right? No, it must be the other side, unless it's actually... No, Mario doesn't have anything up here, okay. Well, we'll be back with Wario. Unless the Toad gives us a star. Yep, we do get a castle secret star. I think one of these is changed in the DS version, and you will only get it if you're Luigi. Which is really nice, given that most of the Toads rag on him. So, back in a moment. Alright, there we go. That's one. I'm fairly certain there's another one near here. There's gotta be, because I'm pretty sure I've caught 6 of Wario's. Ah, yes, it's just up there. I wasn't wrong for once. There we go. Well, we didn't exactly catch up with it. So this is... Right, so this is the entry to Wing Mario over the rainbow, isn't it? Let's, yeah. So, we should see a Mario hat somewhere here. Because we can only do this as Mario, because nobody else has the wing cap. Let's at least give it a try, shall we? Since you've probably listened to me ramble on for most of the time. Now we have to sort out what I would describe as questionable flying controls. Well, let's at least get that one. Don't know why there's a tree here. Is it a target for us to hit with the cannon? Getting up there. So the mini-map is kind of helpful. But it does have a bit of an issue. Because it doesn't tell you exactly how high you are. Okay, so I can't get up there. You've just got to trust your shadow and hope. Oh no, I have to be... No! Please tell me there's a Wario hat down here somewhere. Please tell me there is a Wario hat. Alright, we'll fly out a little bit, bring her around. So... How do I... This is going to sound like a really, really bad question with really bad context, but, how do I hurt myself? Is there an enemy that I can actually hurt myself on? Can I physically damage myself in some way, shape, or form that will allow me to get to that, to actually get... Yeah, once I've finished my sentence, I need to get what's inside that brick block. Alright, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Stick the landing, very nice. Okay, so 1 coin... Ah! Oh wait, the brick block is another secret star. Do I have to come in here as somebody not Wario? I must have to come in here as somebody not Wario and make a cannon shot. That's better than the alternative. Fire! too low. Bring it round. Oh wait, hang on. Maybe high enough. Bring it round. Can I get it? Yes, I can. And we get stuck like we would in snow. Not too bad. So, if I get down to the island where I opened up the cannons, should be all right. Now there is one here. Should be up here. Not up here? Or is it just on the ground? It's just on the ground. Well done, me. Okay. So, yeah, we do need Wario's hat, I believe. Because I don't think we can get anywhere far enough as Wario in order to wind up getting... I think we'd probably have to come in as Mario. Hold her steady. Stick the landing. And then the star should be ours. Aim at that tree. And there you go. Alrighty, so... question, can I... Oh wait, hang on, already! Nice. So, those white rabbits, do you remember I was talking about that? So, we need to grab 8 of these white rabbits, which are conveniently all the second fastest of the 8 brothers. Once you grab all those white rabbits, which will only appear with rabbits you have caught, then you can work your way to getting the star behind the white door. So, that turned out pretty good. Now, if you do fall off, if you can't make it to another cloud, you will just fall out of the area. And you will wind up back at the start. Well, essentially straight outside the castle. Alright, can I... Bonsai! That worked surprisingly well. Okay, not bad. So the rabbits have a 1 in 32 chance of being white rabbits when you find them. If, on the other hand, you have you have 80 stars or more, there's a 1 in 16 chance instead. So, check through the castle with everyone. I'm going to double check just to be on the safe side, just in case any of Wario's rabbits are white rabbits. And, yeah, then we can wind up. Because that went pretty well, all things considered. I honestly didn't think I would stick that long jump. Sometimes I surprise myself, really. I mean, yeah, I know I can be a bit of a disaster with some of the ideas I have. It's really no wonder men tend to have a slightly shorter average life expectancy than women. We're the ones who are prone to doing things that are generally preceded by the words, "Watch this. I'm sure it'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? I know what I'm doing. What's the worst that could happen?" Or, perhaps for a less fatal variant, how hard can it be? We're really bad at things like that. But, oh well. Sometimes I will occasionally pull off some sort of feat that makes me look like a reasonably credible gamer. It's just a little harder to concentrate. Ah, yes, there we go. Ah, that should have counted. That was a perfect dive. Only a 2. Oh, that works. Okay, so that has given us 2 of the 8 white rabbits. It doesn't matter which character you use, you just have to catch 8 white rabbits. Let's wrap things up for there. Thank you very much for joining me. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.